Last character on my list is Mel. She was my favorite. The assistant.
Oh, I was thinking, who the hell was Mel? How is she your favorite?
So first of all, the MCU is in a unique position that they've been doing this for 17 years or something. And they can now believably tell stories about people who have never known anything else. And she's exactly the right age, if she's like mid-20s or something, where she has never known a world without heroes. And she's freaked out by the fact that there are no heroes anymore. We've watched the MCU since Iron Man, and there has kind of been this escalation. It starts out in a world without heroes, and then the heroes come into the world and change it. Maybe at times didn't quite change it as much as they should have, but we saw about going from our world to a world with heroes. And Mel is the person who goes the other way, who her baseline is there are heroes who come flying over the horizon to save the day when the aliens invade, and it's gonna be fine because they're gonna win, because the most powerful beings on Earth are here to help you, and now they're gone. Can you imagine how that will screw with your mind? And if anything, they undersold that idea, but it was there. And she thought that initially thought that Valentina was the next best thing. That Valentina's work was trying to either bring the heroes back, or this is like plan B, right? In the absence of real heroes, this is what we need. And I think she started as a true believer, and over the course of the movie, she was growing in doubt. It's not perfect, but for the most part, I think that works quite well. And so I think that is why, for her, it's such a big deal to double cross Valentina and call Bucky. So just conceptually, in terms of what this character represents, that was the most interesting part to me, because now, like I've said on a whole bunch of different places, that the MCU doesn't feel like a real place. It like what we're seeing does not jive with there have been heroes and aliens and gods walking the earth for 17 years. And characters are behaving like they are part of our world. And every fantastical element is like special. But it shouldn't be special, it should be normal for these people. And they don't act like it. And Mel was the first, was an attempt to do that. And I thought that was cool.
But my issue with it wasn't an issue with her character. It was an issue with how her character was, how her turning point was introduced. Because when was her turning point introduced?
Valentina does increasingly villainous things, like just killing the operatives, right? Which is not what Mel expected her to do. She thinks it's unnecessary at minimum. I think it's when Valentina says something really careless about having to kill them or something. But like there is a point where Valentina says something, walks away, and the camera zooms in on Mel, and you can see that a light bulb went off in her head. I've been for an hour now. I've been complaining about lack of key character moments, and I think Mel does have one. And I think that is why I like her more than most of these other characters, because there was in fact a moment of realization, and you could argue about whether or not it should have been that line or something else, or whether what it was enough. But like over the course of this evening, where we cut back and forth between the ball and the research facility, and Valentina does increasingly villainous and cruel and harsh things, you can see the doubt growing in Mel, because she realizes that when it chips her down, Valentina's not a good person. She's not a hero. And at the start of the movie, she at least thought she was. Maybe if she wasn't a hero, then she was at least doing the right thing in some way. And over the course of that evening, Mel realizes that is not the case, and so her doubt starts growing. And then when Bucky shows up, that's her opportunity to do something about it, to do the right thing.
You sold the character well.